Ai, esse é o DJ Dog, o cachorrão das putas.
DJ Dog, samba putaria, porra.
Esse é o DJ Gutag, um brabo de canal.
Ai, esse é o DJ Dog, o cachorrão das putas.
DJ Dog, samba putaria, porra.
Esse é o DJ Gutag, um brabo de canal.
Like shorty, what it do? Got a bad bitch, show me I'ma leave with you. If I walk up in the party, motherfuckers better move. If a motherfucker try me, I'ma put him on the news. Goddamn, I don't want no fucking bitch. Cause I came in the club, ayy, watch out, motherfucker, cause I'm looking for a lick. Got diamonds on my wrist, brass knuckles on my fist. I'm slapping motherfuckers in the face in the pit. Might hit him in the head, I got 100 in the clip. Wait, little bitch, don't want that. I'ma put a blade through his chest like a thumb like down. This chopper gon' have a run in, but fucking on this bitch, I'ma fuck up and never come in. Got a bad little bitch in the crib, and she up to something. I'ma walk up in this bitch, I don't care if they tell me come in. Cause I get in that bitch, and I'm looking for a body. I feel like murder is a motherfucking hobby. And I'm coming off the top, feeling like I'm Jeff Hardy. I'm pull on the dance floor, broke up to the party. Put on my shirt from the vendetta. I'm in the face, my boot nuts, don't get off. Heads up, I'm getting fed up. Pull up with the gun and mark your head up, bitch.
Завали ебальник. Ты это мне сказал? Да, это тебе хуй.
Hello guys, we are in with a very exciting match today. We do have Eternal versus X9. These are basically two of the biggest powerhouses in their respective regions. Eternal being, of course, if not the top team, one of the top teams in the EU, and X9 is pretty much indisputably the top NA team right now. So seeing them duke it out is always a fun treat for everybody to watch. So we are going to be seeing Eternal taking this killer set first, playing the killer of Artist, which is a pretty common pick for them. And we're going to be seeing her on ARP, and Nightlight is, of course, going to be taking this killer on versus X9 Survivor. So, going to be getting an early tag on the Jaw, who was forced to give an M1 just due to there being crows. Pretty much everything does catch somebody with a bird. Is this an actual... Oh, no, it is not. It wasn't a bait from Jaw, it was real. But Wispy just does not make that pallet save, so... And they're not going to pop this gen either. That is most likely going to be a Pain Resonance. Yep, coming out onto the only gen that they have progress on. He is going to be dead on top of it. And he snipes Wispy, oh no! That is so game-changing and an unfortunate event for X9, just not able to dodge it, but a beautiful snipe from Nightlight here. So he's just going to actually go up and take this hook on Wispy. Is he going to walk him down? No, he's going to actually hook him deeper into this top side, assuming he has a Pain Resonance here. It's not a pain resonance, but he can always save it for later. I mean, other than this top mid-gen, you know, pretty much nothing else has progress right now. So, there's really no need to waste a pain res because this is still regressing, and you can kind of just sit on it and watch the rest of these topside generators. Gonna be catching going for this generator over here, presumably the one who went for the save. And if I'm correct, this is a 5-gen top, yeah? Gonna try and go for a little bit of a double snipe here. Not going to land it. Yeah, wow. Wow. 10, 12, 1 main. Yeah, that is really unfortunate for X9. Just immediately... Okay, it is just a 4-gen top, but still kind of unfortunate for X9 here, just having both of these downs happen in the top side, and no longer being able to pressure this generator, so... He's actually going to walk away, assuming that Wispy will hit second stage. And he does. Nobody was there for the save, so Nightlight is going to be taking the chase onto No, doing a good job dodging the bird, and not going to be taking a tag quite yet, but this will probably be an M1. And Wispy still is not pulled. We see the first generator popping across the map, and now we see Haunt going in for this pull. That is going to be a double bird with severed hands, and now it's kind of up to the team to make sure that Wispy doesn't die here. If he does not make it bottom, and it lasts for at least a little while, I think there is going to be problems for X9. Jaw trying to get this pallet safe here, but Nightlight's just going to go for a quick down. Does he make anything? He has his edge map filler, but he does not make that. Can somebody pick Wispy up in time, or at least make it for that pallet save? Gonna be sending a bird back to try and interrupt it. It does get the interruption off, so... Gonna be crowing Wispy once again. And he is forced to go back into this top side of the map where you have all these generators. I will say, despite the situation that X9 is in, they are kind of pulling back really well. They have gotten rid of the 4-gen. Now you just have a top gen here. And gonna go for a crow down here to try and negate this body block. And yeah, I don't think this body block is gonna be enough. That is just gonna be a double down. So this will be the death onto Wispy. Gonna probably use the pain resonance now to get rid of any progress that they may have. And somebody is crossing for the pickup onto No, but I don't think they're gonna have enough time unless there is, or we're gonna live forever and play, or some other healing perk. Yeah, no, that will be the pickup. Oh, Jaw trying to go for a flashlight save, but Nightlight calling it out. So that is gonna be a hit tank onto the once healthy Jaw, and pain res being used. I'm not too certain what happened there. I think they were there must be a survivor either on main or on 10 or something that's really close to popping, and I think they wanted to make sure that Nightlight didn't go and interrupt them. So they were trying to go for like a quick pull to take some pressure off the team, and Haunt does get caught out here, stealthing for the pull. So that is actually going to just be the win, unless this gen over here is like 99 or something. It actually might be. That might be what. No, it's not. Yeah, that is going to be the 4K2 for for Team Eternal. Yeah, Haunt doing his best, but just going to be taking this down here, so Nightlight will be securing a 4K2 for his team. That means that it will be a 4K3 win con for X9, and 4K1 would be the win for Eternal. So we'll be back shortly with X9 on the killer, and we'll see if they're able to produce that result on either side. Guys, I lied. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I forgot that Wicked is allowed, so he just kind of wicketed it out the basement. So, I've learned my lesson about stopping the stream early, but, Nightlight will just be closing the hatch and downing Haunt here, so that will be the 4K2 regardless. I just didn't want you guys to miss anything. So, now we will be back shortly with X9 on the artist.
Got diamonds on my wrist, brass knuckles on my face. The motherfuckers in the face in the pit. My hand in the head, I got 100 in the clip. Wait, little bitch, don't point that. I'ma put a blade through his chest like a thumb. Lay it down. This chopper gon' have a running. But fucking on this bitch, I'ma fuck her wrist. I'ma come in a bad little bitch in the crib and shit up to something. I'ma walk up in this bitch, I don't care if they tell me come in.
sexo agressivo, vou deixar sua bunda ardendo. Vou dar tapa, 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 caralho.
Quatro paredes, eu vou acabar contigo. Oi, quatro paredes, eu vou acabar contigo. Oi. Em quatro paredes, eu vou acabar contigo. Oi.
Okay, welcome back everybody. We are in on match 2 of set 1. Gonna be having Wispy playing artist for his team against the survivors of Eternal. And Wispy's goal here is to get a 4K3, or at the very least, get a 4K2, maybe get a 4K1, just win some points for his team. Since this is technically point, I mean, there is a tiebreaker, but it's technically point-based, to be real. It isn't a bad thing, necessarily, if he doesn't win the set and he just gets points for his team. So, the most important thing right now, realistically, is for Wispy to just get points. Getting a 4K would still put his team in a good spot for the next set, so. Gonna be taking this first tag onto Dan really early, much like the last game. But Dan is just booking it to the other side of the map, where so far we only see 2 generators. I don't know if we see another gen down here. Going to be getting rid of that dispel and missing 4 birds. So not going to be getting the down quite yet. On to Dan. Going to be taken to this edge map filler. Does go for the swing, but doesn't hit it. So kind of just unzones Dan here into Shaq. And I think that's going to be a really long chase. Gonna be getting that crow. I think it's really important that Wispy gets this this next down here with his crows. And missing another set of birds. Actually, it does hit it, but Dan actually cleared the birds just in time. So not going to be getting this down quite yet. And that is the first generator of the game popping. So much slower pace for Wispy here. But he does still have this 3-gen on the bottom side of the map. I don't think he'll be able to carry him up top side. So he will just be hooking him here on 8. That is not a pain resonance for Wispy either. He could technically leave this and go to the top side of the map, but I mean, actually he doesn't have a 4-gen at all anymore, so I think he's just going to be sitting down here and going to be playing for this tunnel out here in this camp. Seeing if they can catch anybody on the cross, but the survivors have already made it down. Going to be hitting Nightlight with some crows across the map, and actually not committing to Dan here, just going for the hit on Zaka. And actually hits it through the pallet. That was a pretty nasty hit, but actually going to be committing to Zaka here now. Not interested in Dan at all. It is important to note he didn't get a pain res when he hooked him, so I wonder if Wispy has no pain resonance as a bottom side. Gonna be breaking this bot side 3-gen, and there are 2 survivors we haven't seen at all, so I imagine the other survivor is just sitting somewhere topside, pushing that topside 3-gen. which would mean that the survivors would no longer have any sort of 3-gen for them to have to contend with. That does not down him, just hiding behind those barrels on the right there, so that won't be a down, that will just be a swarm for Wispy here, and this chase on Zaka is just going to be going on for so much longer. Both these survivors have just had really insanely long chases, considering the killer here. Artist is not really the kind of killer you juke for long periods of time. Zaka forced to dodge, so won't be able to continue looping, so just gonna die in the corner map. But yeah, I think these chases have just gone on so long. I mean, it's just really impressive from Eternal here, just being able to juke a killer like Artist for as long as they have. So Wispy will be taking this mid-map poke. That is the first pain resonance of the game being used. And he does have this mid-map hook, which is, it is good for him, because he could technically patrol it, but chooses not to. He kind of needs to commit to Freshes here, so that he can use all his pain resonance stacks, try and get as much regression as possible. And maybe try and just juggle the survivors until they kill somebody, but Nightlight doing a great job reading Wispy here. So he is going to also just be getting away from here. Juking the bird. Wispy being a tad bit impatient. And is the blind coming out from Nightlight as well. I think this will be a tag onto Nightlight here, but he's just going to run it to the bottom side of the map. I assume away from all the generators that the survivors are working here. Yep, that is the 4th generator of the game popping, so that is kind of the win for the set for Eternal here. And Zaka is going to be here to help out a little bit. Actually choosing to FTP, so that they can get as few hook stages across the board as possible, since Zaka has already been hooked. Prevent him from getting that down on Nightlight and getting 5 stages instead of 4. Since it is overall point-based, you might as well just aim for the best result possible at all times, instead of, you know, just being like, whatever, we already won. So they are going to be committing to Nightlight here. Still trying to get as many stages as possible. We did see the no-ed come into play. So he is still gonna just try and play for the best result possible, as many points as he can. And I think he will get this down on the Nightlight here. No-ed has already been revealed, so it is possible that they're on it. Wispy, wondering if this is the case, does aim for it with some birds, but nobody's on it, and the door across the map does open up. So yep, that is going to be the 3-man out. That is going to be a 5-stage, a 1k5 with 3 Freshes. So really good job from Eternal here. And honestly, Wispy, knowing he had to play for points, I mean, not really it was a good idea to bring Noah, because it got him, you know, at least a couple more stages in the end game here. So we're going to be going into a Billy set next, which is the Team X9's pick. So we'll be back shortly, so don't go anywhere. Alrighty, we are back on the Hillbilly set. We're going to be having Wispy once again playing Killer First Team. Not unusual. Going to be running a very interesting build, which will be revealed as the match goes on. And we're going to be taking this first chase here on the Nightlight really early on in the game. Doesn't quite make it to this pallet, but we'll just be holding W to another pallet, so we'll get the drop on that. Wispy still holding his chainsaw. Pretty much has overdrive, completely 99. Not going to charge it just yet because he wants to keep that overdrive for when he's a bit closer to Nightlight, I think. And a really good mind game by Wispy, getting that first down really early. And I don't think there's going to be much progress here unless the survivors are stacking a generator. But you do see a totem lit over there, so that is the ever so common ruin being in play for Wispy here. And going to push. It was, in fact, a double. Going to push them off this generator. Doesn't actually choose to commit to going back to Nightlight here. Just going to go for the chase onto Spitz. Go for a fast fall inside, zoning him away from the other window. And unfortunately bumping here. Spitz kind of vaulting into him, not really foreseeing the... Not foreseeing the bump there, but Spitz will corner up, kind of thinking that I'll go for a curve, but Wispy does kind of read the corner, and we'll be getting another down here. But there is 2 fresh hook survivors, which means he's not any closer to a tunnel out. Now, if he can find Nightlight here, that will be an injured survivor, and all he'll have to do is take an M1 here. Going to head back to hook and punish the survivors for not getting an insta-hook. Has checked pretty much every gen. Basically, there's no more gens bottom side, really, so... He's gonna go and check this last gen that he didn't get really the chance to get an eye on. And somebody is here, but... I was gonna say he might not commit, but he actually does choose to commit here for the 3rd fresh hook of the game. I think that's a Lithe coming out. Gonna go for the double vault to try and get a mind game going on Zaka here. Trying to get that mind game going, but Zaka does just read it perfectly and will be able to deny Chainsaw still. Pallet is gone now. Second generator of the game flops. And I think that would have been a down if he didn't bump, but Zaka is just going to be able to get away, and Wispy deciding this chase is not worth it anymore, and just going to be leaving. Now finding Spitz once again. This could be good if he does have a fast chase here. Spitz does have a double window. Gonna be taking it to this edge map and pre-dropping it, not expecting, I think, Wispy to be that close, but getting the dead hard off, so going to be able to live for a little bit longer. Ruin is now out of the game, and Wispy does force Spitz back to this filler pallet here, so I think this is going to be the down. Actually fakes it and swings at the air. That is not going to be down on Spitz quite yet. Going to be forced back into this double window. Bloodlust is coming through here for Wispy. Surely this must be the down. Yes, he will be getting hit over that pallet. And that is going to be the 2nd stage on the Spitz here. Great chase from Spitz. All the other chases have been very, very phenomenal today by Eternal, so... Second stage coming out onto Spitz, and Wispy will be moving across the map to try and pressure these survivors off these generators. But unfortunately, no more ruin, so no more free regression. He will just have to keep the generators pressured with through hooks and downs. We do see a bit of an interesting perk coming out for Wispy here that is unforeseen, the new unknown perk that transfers your terror radius onto a generator. Trying to see if he can catch somebody off guard on this gen, but they have pre-left already, so It's not going to be a down quite yet, and I imagine somebody is commenting right now that he is headed over to this gen as well, so there are 2 survivors here. And unfortunately, just not having that mind game come through. Dan just reading it perfectly. And they are not falling for anything. Wispy is just going to leave this chase once again and head into this part of the map. Does find Nightlight, who he has already hooked once. And just fakes the Volt. I don't think Nightlight is going to be able to make it to main building, so he's just going to play this LT wall here. And Wispy's still not going to be able to find this down here. Trying to go for a couple mind games, but Nightlight is holding his check spots very well. So, Wispy trying to use this chainsaw to get it down, but all Nightlight has to do here is run around the long way instead of going for the window, so I think Wispy is just going to have to leave this chase here. Otherwise, I think those last 2 gens are going to pop, and I think, honestly, it might already be too late. Yep, that is the last generator popping, and Nightlight is going to get Adrenaline. And I think Wispy's best bet here would be to go for a fresh hook, so not Spitz and not Nightlight, but I think Wispy might just want to fool around a little bit. He is actually going to be going to this other door. It looked like he was maybe just goofing off a little bit, but he is going to head back to this door. He's going to find Spitz. This will be only 1 hook left over, though. He is going to leave this now and go back to this other door, but the door is already open, so let's see some scratch marks here. If you were to find somebody, but they actually stealthed perfectly, and they did make it to the door, so that will be Nightlight and Zaka leaving, and there's Spitz, and I assume Dan will be out of here any second. Unless he is holed up in a corner somewhere. Maybe trying to have been stealthing while Spitz got the door open. Wispy looking for him, but not quite finding him. Nope, there it is. That is going to be the 4-man out. That is going to be a 3-stage if I am correct. So, that is, I think that puts Eternal in a winning position no matter what the result their killer gets. But we'll see if X9 can at least win the set and match that performance here shortly. Alright guys, we are back with Eternal on the killer and X9 on the serves. Unfortunately, yeah, there is no win con for X9 here, but they can at least, do their best and put out a showing here. What is this ace fit? And we're going to be seeing Dan on the Billy as per usual for Team Eternal. We're going to be taking chase on the Wispy here. Actually, oh my, okay, that surprised me. Note is going to drop that pallet for him, but taking the window before the pallet was even broken and getting hit with crowd control, so... Wait, I know what Wispy's gonna do here, by the way. He's gonna hide in the corner. Oh no. There's a little thing people do in pubs where they'll just hide in that corner at the bottom of the first set of stairs, which is what I thought he was gonna do, because you saw him walk in the basement, but, they did not choose to go for that, so... But Wispy was there to get the pull, so... Gonna be finding, Haunt here. And just, kind of like Wispy are choosing not to go for any sort of tunnel out, just deciding to play, for fresh hooks. Haunt does make a lot of distance, but... It's just gonna get sniped. So that will be the second hook stage of the game. Much faster pace than the previous game. We do see two hooks happening before the first gen even pops. Okay. As the first gen pops. So, we do see a barbecue and chili coming out on our killer here. They are going to be running over to this side of the map where Wispy is working on the generator. And I think that window was already blocked. I don't know what Dan just did. I think he overflicked and ended up colliding with the jungle gem instead of going around the pallet. Gonna be going for a flick on Wispy, but not quite making it. Wispy choosing not to drop the pallet, going for a crouch tech instead. It's a pallet save, maybe? No, so that will just be the down on the Wispy. I'm guessing he assumed he didn't make the pallet, so he decided to go for a crouch tech, but unfortunately it did not work out for him, so that will be the third fresh hook of the game. Second gen popping, and gonna be using this barbecue once again to fly across the map and take chase onto the next survivor. Does find Haunt again. Almost gets it. And I think Haunt hoping that he had a filler pallet, but does not have an edge map here, and crowd control is just making this impossible for the survivors. Once they get rid of those pallets, it's kind of just over because they have no other resources with the windows being gone. And Jaw thinking he makes this window, but just barely not making it. Gonna be getting hit through it, and our killer is just gonna go on a slugfest here. Since they have already basically met the win con. Even if they did lose a bunch of points from people bleeding out, it wouldn't matter as much. I think, yeah, he ended up inside of his body. And our killer is just gonna stop slugging here and is gonna go for the pick onto Note. That will be the second hook stage here. And sees the survivor stealthing with barbecue. Really good pick from Note here. Or not Note, excuse me. I'm reading names on the slide. Good pick from Dan here. And he's getting a lot of value from it, just seeing where survivors are, always knowing exactly where to go. And I think this was a bit of an overgreed from Jaw. That is going to be the down. The hook is coming out, one to Note, and our killer is not interested in going back to that hook. Just gonna play for the down onto Haunt over here. It's gonna be forcing corner here, but Dan will get the down. Dan's gonna slug this out again and go back to the middle part of the map and just continue slugging. Does find Wispy. Wispy choosing not to drop that back filler pallet, instead of gonna play this middle one. And Dan building up that overdrive to go for the down, but doesn't get it due to a crouch deck. And it's quite impressive, you know, how well Dan kind of knows the limits of the chainsaw, knowing how far back he has to be and how he can curve it so that he doesn't bump. The survivors are choosing to kind of just what's the word? Dogpile this gen. So they are going to be giving out 2, maybe even 3 downs around it if Note doesn't make this window here. And okay, I thought what Dan did is that he was going to vault the window. Did try to go for a bit of a elaborate mind game there, but it won't work out since Dan Note did choose to drop the pallet. All survivors are picked up, and I'm not certain what's happening here. And the beautiful curve. I don't think Dan saw the Fang, right? I think that Fang blended in. What do you guys think? Oh my, I'm amazed that Han did not get hit through that. And will be the down coming in. Yeah, I think our survivors are just trying to go for some content and have some fun, since the game is already unfortunately won here for Eternal. Looks like this is gonna be the last chase. Wispy juking the chainsaw, but I don't think he'll be able to juke it again. And I think he's waiting for overdrive here so that he can do the same sort of things he was doing earlier and go for a nice curve. Jaw does get up with Unbreakable, I assume. Okay, did Wispy just leave? Wait. Maybe he didn't have Unbreakable. Wait, Jaw actually didn't have Unbreakable at all. While Dan was trying to farm clips, Wispy just left and picked up Jaw. That's just pretty funny. Gonna be getting the down again. It breaks the pallet instead of getting the curve. That's, I think, the 3rd time this game that Dan has been suctioned to the pallet instead of the survivor. Jaw trying to take it down for Wispy. Oh my god. Okay. Does swing right through both Jaw and a set of tires, so I didn't know Dan was built like that. Gonna just take this hook on Jaw. He does commit for Wispy. Wispy getting the crouch deck once again. And is there anything over here? I don't think there is. Nothing that he would make. I think this is the 2nd stage on the Wispy. Dan just fully committing to the bit here and only using the chainsaw. And they cleanse his ruin. I think that might be GG's for Dan here. I think they might be able to pop the generators now and then get outs. On is now dead, and I think I think our survivors are in a sandbagging competition there. I think Jaw just phased through Wispy. The question is, who's the better sandbagger? Going for another curve, but not getting it. can tell how badly Dan really wants this clip here. But he's gonna have to farm Overdrive again. If he wants to get it on Wispy. Okay. I think this, like, he just phased through him. I think this team is, like, actually just, like, full of ghosts. That's, like, the third time we've seen somebody phase through either another survivor or the killer, so... I think Wispy is dead now, so... Jaw is just gonna be booking it to get that hatch. The question is, will Dan give it to him? Technically, points matter, if teams tie... Actually, he gave it to him. Alright, well... Thank you to both teams for playing. GG's to Eternal for winning. It was very fun to cast, whatever just went down. So, GG's once again, and we'll be back later tonight, I think, right here in probably like 30 minutes. I think we have another game, and then I'll be back to cast another game at 8 PM tonight. So, I will see you all then, and yeah, thank you guys for watching.